About 75% of line electric school buses are expected back on Quebec roads Wednesday, with full service planned by Friday. 1,200 vehicles had been pulled from circulation last week after one caught fire. Joining me now to speak about this is Valérie Tremblay, who is the coordinator of the Canadian Electric School Bus Alliance and lead for sustainable mobility with Green Communities Canada. Valérie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Just looking at the fire that happened last week, could you perhaps clarify what we know about that fire and maybe compare it to, fire risks in gas-powered buses? What are the differences that we're seeing?
Yes, I think it's important to know that the fire that happened in Montreal last week was caused by the wiring related to the HVAC system, so the heating and defrosting system. So that's a component that we can find in other types of school buses, so not specifically electric. So when we talk about comparing electric school bus fires to diesel bus, we have to know that electric school buses will use the same core technology as other electric transit buses and electric vehicles. So we can look at the data about fire incidents from these vehicles to understand better the risk related to school buses. So when we look on a global scale, since 2010, there have been less than 30 battery fires involving electric school buses worldwide out of 250K buses in operation. And so most of these incidents happen when the buses were not in operation. Obviously, that was not the case here and the one that happened a year ago, but it's just good to keep in mind that this is a rare incident. And so they do deserve attention, but when we compare them to fire happening with thermal school buses like gas, diesel, and propane models, it's not as much. So when we look at data from the United States, we see that fire incidents will occur at a rate of 0.9 to 1.2 per 10,000 electric vehicles, compared to almost 7.3 for 10,000 diesel vehicles. So that means that thermal vehicles will be 6 to 8 times more likely to catch fire than electric ones.
And just, lastly, with the fire that happened last week, there are parents that are concerned, operators that are concerned. They might be concerned now switching to electric. What do you think that the Quebec government can do and should be doing differently to keep this transition to electric on track?
Well, first thing, I think the only perhaps good thing about this incident is that it has pushed school districts, bus operators, and Transport Canada to conduct thorough inspection on all electric school buses. So I think in the future, this will reinforce the safety of electric school buses and prevent other fire incidents from happening.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.